The night sky over Chile was calm and full of stars. High in the mountains, the Santiago Deep Space Listening Station was quiet, except for the steady hum of machines. It was late, and most of the scientists had gone home. Only one person remained, Dr. Helena Voss. Helena, an astronomer with silver-streaked hair and sharp eyes, sat in front of her monitor. She sipped cold coffee and watched the data scroll across the screen. Every night, she listened to the stars. Most nights, she heard nothing but static and random signals. But this night was different. A sudden tone rang out. It was soft, but steady. Helena frowned and leaned forward. Lines of data formed a strange, repeating pattern. Not noise, not natural, something intelligent. Her hands moved quickly. She saved the signal, zoomed in, and checked it twice. Then she gasped. It wasn't just a pattern. It was a message. She called her assistant, Ravi, who rushed in, yawning. "Look at this," Helena said, pointing at the screen. "It's coming. From deep space, somewhere near the edge of the Orion Arm. It's structured, repeating sequences. Prime numbers, a universal language." Ravi's eyes widened. "Is it real?" Helena nodded slowly. "Yes, and it's not just a greeting. It's the cry for help." The next morning, news of the signal spread quickly. Space agencies around the world listened and confirmed the same thing. The message repeated every 4 minutes. It came from a star system called Velar 9, about 400 light-years from Earth. Over time, more parts of the message were decoded. It was sent by a species called the Velari. Their star was dying. Their planet was losing its heat and light. They had no way to leave. Their energy was running out. They had sent out hundreds of distress signals across the galaxy, but had never received an answer. The Velari message was simple and heartbreaking. "We are the Velari. Our world fades. If you have the power to help, please come. We do not ask for conquest or trade, only aid. This is our final call." Helena read those words again and again. She felt a chill. The Velari were not enemies. They were not invaders. They were just a civilization on the edge of extinction. On Earth, governments met in emergency sessions. Some leaders were cautious. "What if it's a trick?" they asked. "What if we send help and never return?" Others thought it was a waste of time. "Why should we help a dying alien race?" they said. "We have our own problems." But Helena refused to wait. She believed humans had a duty not just to each other, but to anyone who needed help. She made a choice. Using her contacts in private space programs, she reached out to scientists, engineers, and explorers around the world. They called themselves Project Solace. Their goal was clear: to answer the Velari's call. They didn't have much time. They needed a ship, a fast one, a powerful one. Thankfully, Earth had just finished testing its first experimental faster-than-light drive. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. The ship was named the Odyssey. Small but strong, it could carry a crew of 6 across the stars. Captain Elias Core, a calm and thoughtful leader, was chosen to command the mission. He had served in Earth's space fleet, but retired early after a peace mission gone wrong. He believed in second chances, and this, he said, was humanity's. Alongside him was Mar N. Duval, a young linguist who had studied alien signals for years. She was quiet but brilliant. The rest of the crew included a pilot, a medic, an engineer, and a biologist. As the Odyssey prepared to launch, the world watched. Some people cheered, others shook their heads, but no one could ignore what was happening. For the first time, humanity was not exploring for riches, not colonizing, not defending. They were going to help someone they had never met. The night before launch, Helena stood beside the ship and looked at the stars. "Do you really think they're out there?" Ravi asked. Helena smiled softly. "Yes, and they're waiting. We may be their last hope." High above, the signal from Velar 9 continued, repeating, fading, hoping. And soon, for the first time in their history, the Velari would receive an answer. The Odyssey moved through the darkness of space faster than any ship in human history. Stars stretched into lines. Time felt strange. Captain Elias Core stood near the window, watching the lights blur. Even after years in space, this journey felt different. Behind him, Martin Duval sat at her station, listening to the Velari signal. She had decoded more of their language. Their voices were musical, soft, and full of emotion. Every word in their message showed sadness, but also hope. They truly believed someone might come. Are we ready? Elias asked. As ready as we'll ever be, Martin replied. They're not like us, but I think we'll understand each other. After 3 days in folded space, the Odyssey arrived near VELA or -9. Everyone went silent as they looked out at the dying star. Once bright and strong, it now pulsed weakly, like a candle running out of wax. Around it, a dark gray planet floated slowly. That was Velar, home of the Velari. The planet looked cold and empty. Storms rolled over its surface. No lights were seen from orbit, no sign of cities or ships. Life signs, Elias asked. The ships say, I answered. Faint, deep underground. Their energy is low. Very low. Let's go, Elias said. It's time. The Odyssey entered Velar's atmosphere carefully. Thick clouds made it hard to see. Radiation from the star made the ship shake. But the crew stayed calm. Soon, they found a large metal structure on the surface. It looked old and damaged. Round it were deep cracks in the ground. A hidden entrance. Opened slowly, as if someone had been waiting. They landed nearby. As the ship doors opened, warm light from inside the building spilled out. The crew stepped out in suits. Careful but not afraid. Inside, glowing crystals lit the path. The air was thin but breathable. Then they saw them. The Velari were tall and graceful. Their bodies looked like clear crystal mixed with metal. They had no eyes or mouths, but their lights pulsed gently with color blue for calm, green for welcome. One Velari stepped forward. Its body flickered with soft golden light. Martin read the signal it was sending. You came, you answered. We are not alone. The crew followed the Velari into a large hall underground. It was full of crystal towers and strange machines. All of it was running on very low power. The Velari had turned off almost everything to survive. They called their leader Elenkai, whose lights were dim and slow. He had been alive for many centuries, watching their world fall apart. He had sent the message into space, never truly expecting a reply. Elias stepped forward. We are from Earth, he said. We heard your call. We came to help. Elenkai responded with soft blue flashes. Martin translated, You crossed the stars, not for war or profit, only to give aid. Why? Elias looked at his team. Then he said, Because it's the right thing to do. The Velari shared their story. Long ago, they were a peaceful race of scientists and builders. They had no weapons, no wars. But their star began to die faster than they expected. They tried to warn other alien civilizations, but no one came. Some ignored them. Others blocked their messages. We were seen as weak, Martin said, translating. To poor to help. Not useful. Forgotten. The Velari had no ships fast enough to leave. So they waited and hoped. And now, humans had arrived. The Odyssey crew began work right away. They gave the Velari small fusion power cells to light up more parts of their city. They shared heating systems, water filters, and portable medical tools. Even simple food and warmth brought life back into the dark hallways. The Velari were amazed. Your machines are simple but powerful, they said. You build with purpose, not pride. Martin smiled. We do our best. Later that night, Elias and Martin sat beside a soft blue pool inside the Velari city. Crystals hummed gently in the walls. Do you think they trust us? Martin asked. I think they're starting to, Elias said. They've been alone a long time. Martin looked up at the ceiling. They weren't expecting anyone. And we showed up. That means something. Yes, Elias said. It means we're not like the others. As they prepared to send a report back to Earth, something strange happened. A strange signal entered the system. A low, threatening tone. A known transmission. The AI warned. Source unidentified ship entering orbit. Elias stood quickly. Is it Velari? No. It's something else, and it's not friendly. The lights inside the Velari city flickered. Elenkai turned to Elias. his body glowing with sudden fear. They have come. The ones who wanted us to die quietly. Elias's jaw tightened. Then they'll find out what it means when humans stand for someone. The unknown ship hovered in orbit above Velar. It was dark, silent, and massive, larger than any human or Velari ship. Its surface looked like black stone, and it gave no signal of peace or warning. Inside the underground Velari city, the lights flickered again. The Velari moved nervously. Their crystal bodies glowed with faint red color that meant fear. Captain Elias Kor stood beside Elenkai, the Velari elder. Who are they? He asked calmly. Eli Enkai's glow faded. They are the Corrects Dominion. Long ago, they ruled this region of space. When we asked them for help, they stayed silent. They did not like weakness. They wanted us to disappear quietly. Mar-En Duvel looked at the signal on her screen. They're scanning the planet now, looking for us. Can they attack? The pilot asked. Elien-Kai gave a slow flash of blue. Yes, they may see your help as a threat. They did not like change or kindness. Back on the Odyssey, the crew prepared defenses. The ship was not built for war. It was a science and rescue vessel. But humans were clever. The engineer, Tessa Lang, set up signal jammers and energy shields. The pilot, Leo Han, activated emergency protocols. We'll do what we can, Elias said. We didn't come for a fight, but we won't run. The correct ship sent a message. It was cold and direct. This planet is under observation. Leave. Now, this is not your concern. Mar-En translated it out loud. The crew stared at each other. Elias didn't blink. He replied with a simple message. Humanity does not abandon those who ask for help. On Earth, news of the Correct's threat reached Project Solace headquarters. Some world leaders panicked. Pull the team back. They shouted. We cannot risk a war with an alien empire. But millions of people across the planet disagreed. They had watched the Odyssey's mission with hope. Now, they saw something more. Humans. Standing against fear. Standing for life. Private donations flooded in. Volunteers offered their help. Retired scientists and soldiers contacted Project Solace, asking to join. One message stood out. We were always told Earth was alone. But now we know we are part of something greater. Let us be the light in someone else's darkness. Back on Velar, the Corrects sent drones down to the surface. Small, black machines flew through the sky, scanning the human equipment and Velari systems. One drone landed too close to the fusion core. It tried to disable it, without hesitation. Tessa activated the pulse blaster and destroyed the drone. They're testing us, she said. Elias nodded. Then let's show them what humans can do. The crew worked with the Velari to build defenses using what little they had. The Velari crystals could focus and redirect energy. Humans added small fusion packs, creating powerful shield generators. Mar-En and Elenkai shared knowledge, combining human technology with Velari science. A new message was sent from the Odyssey to Earth. We are staying. We will protect Velar. We ask for backup, not just weapons, but minds, engineers, doctors, builders. If we stand together, we can show them what humanity truly is. 3 days later, the Correct ship moved closer. It dropped a warning blast near the city, far enough not to kill, but close enough to send a message. They want us afraid, Mar-En said. Elias stood on the edge of the city platform. Let them see we are not. The Odyssey activated its shields. Velari towers lit up with blue and white lights. Small defense drones flew into the air. The Velari had never fought before, but now they stood with humans, ready to protect their home. We may not have a fleet, Elias said, but we have courage. That's something the Corrects will never understand. The Velari city sent its own signal into space. We are not alone anymore. We stand with Earth. We stand with hope. On board the Correct ship, silence followed. Then, without a word, the ship turned away. They did not attack. Not yet, but they had seen enough. They now knew that Earth was not weak, that humans would cross stars not for gold or power, but for strangers in need. As the Correct ship disappeared into space, the Velari city glowed brighter than ever before. crystals hummed with new energy. Children tiny Velari, who had lived in darkness, danced under lights for the first time. Elenkai turned to Elias. You changed our fate. Why do you care so much? Elias smiled. Because once, we needed help too. And now, we know what it means to be the ones who answer. The days passed quickly on Velar. The Velari and humans worked side by side to prepare for the next possible attack. The once dark and silent cities began to shine with light. Crystal towers hummed with energy, powered by fusion cores brought by the Odyssey crew. Captain Elias Core stood on a platform overlooking the city. The Velari moved with calm determination, their bodies pulsing gently with colors that showed hope and strength. The humans checked and repaired equipment, sharing ideas freely with their new friends. Despite the calm, attention hung in the air. The Correct's Dominion was still out there, waiting, watching. Captain. The pilot Leo Han called from the control room. Correct's ships detected, closing fast. They're coming back, this time with more ships. Elias looked up at the sky. The stars were sharp and clear, but soon they would be filled with warships. He gathered the crew and Velari leaders in the central hall. We don't have many weapons, but we have something stronger. Elias said, human courage, Velari knowledge. Together, we will fight not to conquer, but to protect. Elenkai, the Velari elder, nodded. His lights glowed bright blue. We will stand with you. The Correct's fleet arrived in full force. Their ships darkened the sky like a storm. The humans and Velari prepared for battle. The Odyssey led the defense, its small frame weaving between massive enemy vessels. The Velari crystals, once used only for energy and communication, now became weapons. They focused sunlight and energy into beams of powerful light that could cut through metal. The humans combined these with their fusion shields and drones, creating an unpredictable defense. Remember, Elias told his crew, we fight for life, not destruction. Every move counts. The battle began. Correct's ships fired heavy lasers and missiles. The Velari city shook from the explosions. The humans launched drones that moved fast and small, confusing the enemy. Martin Duval, at her station, hacked enemy communications, breaking their coordination. On the ground, Velari engineers worked to keep the city's energy flowing. The fusion cores burned bright, powering shields and weapons, even injured Velari. And humans helped, showing strength and unity. The fighting was intense, but the humans surprised the Corrects. They used clever tricks and unexpected attacks. Small drones flew into enemy engines, causing chaos. The Velari crystals could bend light, making some ships appear invisible for moments. We're holding them back, Leo shouted. Elias smiled. Grimly, hold the line. We cannot lose. During a pause in the battle, Elias received a message from Earth. Reinforcements are coming, the voice said. Several private ships and scientists are on their way. You are not alone. The news lifted the spirits of everyone. Knowing that Earth was sending help gave them strength. Back in the city, Martin spoke with Elenkai. Why do you think the Corrects attacked? She asked. Elenkai's lights flickered slowly. They feared change. They feared that a weak species, like humanity, could upset their control. They wanted to stop us from rising. Martin nodded. They don't understand humanity. We don't fight for power. We fight for hope. As the battle continued, the Velari and humans grew closer. They shared stories, learned from each other, and built trust. Velari children played near human machines, curious and happy for the first time. On the Odyssey, Elias watched the stars, thinking of Earth. We came to help, he whispered. Now we fight to protect. The Correct's Dominion, seeing the strong resistance, decided to retreat for now. Their ships disappeared into the darkness of space, but their warning was clear. We will return. But the message from the Velari city was louder and clearer. We stand united. We fight for life. We will not be forgotten. As peace returned, the Velari began plans to save their world. With human technology and their own science, they worked to stabilize their dying star. Though it was a long and difficult process, hope burned brighter than ever. Elias and his crew prepared to send news to Earth. The story of courage, friendship, And fight against fear was one they wanted the whole world to hear. The final moment came when Elenkai said softly to Elias, "You have changed our future. You have shown us what it means to be strong together." Elias smiled. "And you have shown humanity the power of kindness, together, under the dim light of Velar's star." The dark skies of Velar began to change. Slowly, the dying star brightened, its weak light growing stronger with each passing day. The combined work of Velari scientists and human engineers was showing results. New energy flowed through the planet's veins, warming its frozen surface bit by bit. Captain Elias Core stood once again on the platform overlooking the city. The crystal towers sparkled, shining with new life and hope. Beside him stood Elenkai, whose glowing light was stronger than ever before. "We did not think this possible," Elenkai said, his voice calm but full of wonder. "Your help saved us when no one else would. You gave us more than power, you gave us hope." Elias smiled, feeling the weight of their journey. It was not just us. It was all of humanity. Earth sent their best, and they stood with us. Back on Earth, millions watched the news. The story of the Velari and humanity's help spread across the globe like wildfire. People celebrated not only a scientific victory, but a new era of unity. Children drew pictures of crystal aliens and brave human astronauts. Songs were sung in schools about crossing the stars to help others. The world felt connected in a way it never had before. But even with the star healing and peace returning, the threat of the Correct's dominion still lingered. "They will not give up so easily," Martin Duval warned as she studied reports from distant space. "They fear change and will try to stop it again." Elias nodded. "Then, we must be ready." Together with the Velari, humans began to build stronger defenses. New ships were designed fast, strong, and smart. Scientists shared knowledge freely. Warriors trained side by side. The Odyssey crew became ambassadors of peace and strength. They traveled between Velar and Earth, bringing new hope and ideas. One evening, as the two stars, Earth's sun and Velar's rekindled star, shone far apart in the sky, Elias stood beside Marin. "Do you think other civilizations will reach out now?" he asked. Marin smiled thoughtfully. "I think they will. They will see that humanity answers calls for help, that we stand for life. And that makes us different," Elias said quietly. Back on Velar, Elenkai held a ceremony for the new alliance between humans and Velari. Velari crystals floated in the air, glowing with colors of friendship and courage. The humans joined hands with the Velari, promising to protect each other. Elenkai spoke, his voice soft but firm, from the edge of darkness. "We have found light because we did not face it alone. Together, we will explore the stars, learn, and grow. This is only the beginning." Months later, the Odyssey prepared for a new mission. The crew was larger now: scientists, diplomats, explorers from Earth, and Velari specialists. Their goal: to reach out to other worlds in need, to answer other calls for help. Elias looked around at his team, faces bright with hope, determination, and the shared belief that no one should face the universe alone. He turned to Martin and said, "Are you ready for what comes next?" She smiled and nodded. "We have a universe to help." As the Odyssey left Velar's orbit, a new message arrived from deep space, another plea for help. This time, humanity was ready. They answered because humanity did not wait for a hero, they chose to be the heroes.